Welcome. In this video tutorial, we're going to walk through how you log into Project Lead the Way and locate the resources in both the teacher section and the student section. You will log in to mypltw.org using the login that you created before the Project Lead the Way launch teacher training, and then you will navigate to the courses piece of the module. Once you see the various courses, you will scroll down to the module that you will be teaching. We will be using a grade 3 module for this experience. Click on the Student tab and bring up the student portion of the module. Then go back to the My Project Lead the Way tab and tap on the courses again and go down to the teacher portion of that same module. Now you have a tab for the teacher portion of the course and the student portion of the course. We will begin by tapping on the introduction story within the student module, then navigate to the other tab for the teacher portion of the guide. Here you will see the preface, transfers, essential questions, understandings, learning objectives, and knowledge and skills. These contain a lot of useful information that you will need in order to tie the curriculum to your existing standards and benchmarks, and also prepare for the lesson and the learning that will take place. As you scroll to the bottom, you will notice that there is an entire section for resources. Tap on Curriculum Framework to open the resource. You can either read it within the module, or you can navigate back to the top where you will see a download arrow. This means that you can download and print the resource. Once you click on the resource, go over to the right of your screen and click on the download arrow. This will download the document to your computer. Once you download it, we suggest that you create a folder for your Project Lead the Way resources for that module. That way, each time you download a resource, you can save it in that folder. Over on the left-hand navigational menu, you can also navigate back to the introduction on the teacher page. If you scroll down, you'll notice there are a lot of other resources. All can be downloaded, printed, or saved to your device. Each can be downloaded with the same method. Tap to download the device, and then tap Download to download it to your computer and put it in your resources folder. You'll also notice here that there are resources for family letters, additional instructional resources, third grade curriculum revisions, and an application list if needed. The left navigational menu will help you move throughout the modules. Tap on Project Lead the Way Launch Logs along the left-hand menu. You will notice now you have a paragraph or two that talks about the importance and the purpose of the Project Lead the Way launch logs throughout the module. You'll also see that you have a video that helps instruct you in the design process, often providing a necessary reinforcement as you begin a module. If you click on additional instructional resources along the menu, you will see that Project Lead the Way understands the importance of introducing other content areas to students in the early years. So they have created a list of additional instructional resources. Tap on the Introduction Story Teacher Resources. When you go back to the page for students, you'll see how similar they are. On the teacher guide for the module introduction, you'll see the resources that are necessary for that very first part of the module. Here you will see that you can download and print the same story that your students have been provided in electronic format. Once you have looked over the teacher resources, click on the Student Module tab. Here you will see what the students will see in the module. Once you click on Activity 1 at the bottom of the Student Module, go back to the Teacher tab and also do the same there, clicking on Activity 1 Teacher Resources. In the Activity 1 portion of the Teacher Resources, you will notice that you have the option to open up the Grade 3 through 5 launch log. You're able to open these logs, download them, and make a few additions. They are in Word. Project Lead the Way does not recommend taking anything away from the launch logs. However, you can edit and add things that fit better with your teaching or with your curriculum. You can also use this to print particular pages that you may need extras of in order to meet the needs of your students. As you scroll down in the teacher guide for Activity 1, you will notice you have the essential questions, learning objectives, knowledge and skills, and then you have preparation resources, including professional development that you can use while planning and implementing your Project Lead the Way module. You will notice in the preparation area of the module, you may have professional development resources available to you. To access these resources, click on the Introduction to the module. If you scroll down in the teacher guide, you will see a video on how to access the resources. You will go back to your My Project Lead the Way page and then click on the professional development icon. Once you're there, you will click and open your Project Lead the Way launch course. Now you will scroll to your grade level and click on the tab. Here you will find numerous resources that will help you in teaching your grade level Project Lead the Way modules. Each section of a Project Lead the Way module also has other resources which include family and community connection ideas. Please navigate to Activity 2 in both the Teacher Resource tab and in the Student tab. Notice in the tabs at the top you can easily see which tab contains teacher resources and which tab contains the student resources. Please navigate to Activity 2 in both areas. If you'll scroll down in Activity 2, you'll see that the items contained are exactly the same or similar to the pieces contained in Activity 1. In this particular module, students will be using Fusion 360 models. I wanted to go over this since it is something that is specific to certain modules. Please notice, you'll also be alerted to possible student misconceptions as you're teaching a module through an activity, a project, or the final problem. At the bottom of each activity, you will see conclusion questions and an answer key for your use for summative assessment. From the Student tab, scroll down until you see the inclined plane link. Clicking on this link will open up the Fusion 360 browser window. This allows students to take a good look at the VEX kits and see how they can be manipulated, decide which pieces to use, to build the model that they've been instructed to. You can rotate the models. You can also click and have them unassemble and reassemble. Fusion models are available in this module anytime the students use the kits. You will also notice that once again you have conclusion answers and an answer key. You will notice the same layout and resources for each of the 3 activities included in a Project Lead the Way launch module. You see a link within a description. If you click on that link, you will get a definition. There will also be interactive flashcards and movies in order to help explain how to teach the lesson. You'll also be given instructions each time students are to log something within their Project Lead the Way launch log. And once again, you'll have conclusion questions and family connections. Always make sure to note the possible student misconceptions with each portion of the Project Lead the Way modules. Notice, this activity takes you through the design process, and each stage of the design process is highlighted in the description. We will now move to the project portion of this module in both the Student tab and the Teacher tab. You will find a list of equipment needed, any vocabulary that you might need, a video about the scientific inquiry process necessary to complete the project. You're also prompted to view the student course throughout the module. You have some preparation that you can do using Project Lead the Way professional development, and you can read and observe the different portions of the assignment. You also have your conclusion questions and your answer key. Following along with the student course helps you see what your students will see as the lesson progresses. The final piece of ABP is the problem. Each module will wrap up in this manner. You will be given a decision matrix that the students will use to help them solve the problem. You will also have a copy of a summative assessment that you can use at the end of the module. Summative assessments often include a Project Lead the Way rubric. You'll also notice that you can download the summative assessment at the end of each module. It is provided as a Word document. And once again, Project Lead the Way does not support taking questions away, but you can certainly add to the questions on the summative assessment or add to pieces of the module if it'll make it better fit your curriculum. At the end of the module, in the teacher guide, you will be provided with references should you want to do future reading. You'll also be given ideas for how to help with student accessibility issues. You may also download and print the modules from this area. Please keep in mind that sharing these modules is against copyright and prohibited. You may use them for your own use, but you may not share them, and you may not give them to someone who has not been certified through Project Lead the Way training. Thank you for beginning our Project Lead the Way launch journey with all of us. Please don't hesitate to reach out for more assistance while implementing the modules. Thank you.